Hello everyone, my name is Nuvela and welcome to another video. Halloween is coming up, so this week is another spooky build. It's the Witch Farm. This design only works for Java Edition, but Silent Whisperer also has a very good one and a very simple one for Minecraft Bedrock. I will link to that in the description below, where you can also find a material list for this build. Let me show you around. Let's go. After you're done with this build, all you will have to do is walk up to this double chest right here, which will contain all of your loot. For the farm to produce as much as possible, you will need an AFK platform up above, and when you are up here and you use the FreeCam mod, which I'll also link to in the description, you can look inside of the farm while you're standing up here, and you will see that on these platforms witches will spawn. They are pushed off by water and then pushed into this water column, where they end up next to the double chest in between 24 minecarts, where they will die from entity cramming. Now when a witch spawns on one of these platforms, the tripwire hooks, which are connected, are triggered, and the trapdoors at the back, holding back the water, are opened by some redstone. As soon as the witch is flushed off of the platform, the tripwire is untripped, if that's a word, and the trapdoors close up again. I will explain more of this in the video, but for now we'll need to find another witch hut to build this farm. So let's go! Okay, so here we've got another witch hut, and they will naturally spawn in the swamp biome and will always be generated with one witch, which you'll need to kill first, and a black cat, which should be roaming around here somewhere. You will want to get rid of this witch, and then we can actually start building the farm. To start off, we're going to mark out the area in which the witches can actually spawn. For this, place these 4 marker blocks around the build at this height and at these locations. Then build another marker 2 blocks above these marker blocks. It should be right on top of the witch hut at the same locations. And we are going to place marker blocks 2 blocks lower than the first marker blocks as well. On these 3 levels, witches can actually spawn when we build platforms here. On these levels, we are going to create platforms on which the witches will be able to spawn. Within these blocks, witches can spawn. This is also called the bounding box of the witch hut. Now that you have these markers, you can destroy the entire witch hut, but make sure that you don't demolish the marker blocks, or you won't be able to find the actual bounding box of the witch hut ever again. Create some extra room for yourself as well, and when you're finished, you can create a platform out of spruce planks in between the marker blocks. This platform should be 7 blocks wide and 9 blocks long. On the side where you want your output chest to be, you can create another line of spruce planks next to the bounding box. So in total your platform should be 8 blocks wide and 9 blocks long. Next, create a ring around 3 sides of the platform using spruce planks, and leave the side where you want your output chest to be open. Now 1 block higher and behind this line, you want to create a line of blocks as well on both sides, and in the corner you can place a block right here. So here as well, and create another line back here as well. Place down trapdoors at the back side of the farm, like this, and open up all trapdoors. Using buckets of water, you can then fill the spaces behind these trapdoors with water. Create a line out of redstone dust behind the water. And place a redstone torch on this block right here. The redstone should light up. You can then place a redstone dust line on top of these blocks as well. So the redstone dust behind the trapdoors should be lit up, and the redstone dust on the side should not be. You can then place tripwire hooks on all of the blocks on the side and on the other side as well. Place a line of blocks over the water, like this. And now, grab a ton of string and place this from one tripwire hook all the way to the other side. You should hear a click, and the tripwire hook should be slightly lower than the ones in front of it which don't have the string in between. Now when you walk into this line, the tripwire hook will send a redstone signal into the redstone torch, which is then unlit, and the redstone dust behind the trapdoors is also unlit, and flip the trapdoors, releasing the water and flushing everything on the platform off the platform. Now you want to do this for all of the tripwire hooks in front of the trapdoors, which will ensure that as long as there is something on the platform, the system is triggered, and as soon as something falls off of the platform, the system is reset. You can build a platform one block higher and repeat this 2 more times. So in total, you should get 3 levels of tripwire hooks on which witches will be able to spawn. On top of the 3rd level you can place spruce planks to serve as a roof. In the end, it should look like this. You're now done creating your spawning platforms. However, we still need a place where the mobs and the witches are transported towards in order to get killed. Therefore, place 2 rows of planks on the side right here and make your way all the way to the top of the farm to create this flushing system and fill in the wall in front. Then in front of the flushing platforms, create a trench of 3 blocks deep and 2 blocks wide. Place buckets of water on each of the sides, and in the middle, where the water meets each other, place down 2 signs, like this. And then dig down another 3 levels, dig down 2 blocks in front, towards the front of the farm. You should end up just in front of your farm. Place 2 signs right here. Place a bucket of water down here. Remove these 2 blocks for ice blocks. Replace this block for a soul sand block, and then using water sources create a bubble column up to the surface. Now all mobs that spawn inside of the farm will end up in this bubble column right here. Build up 5 levels using spruce planks right here. And on the 6th level, only place blocks on the sides. Finish the bubble column. And then on the 3rd level from the ground up, place a double chest right here. Place a hopper feeding into it with a rail on top. Surround that rail with blocks to make sure that nothing can escape out of it. On top of the double chest, you can use a slab or a stair in order for you to remain able to open up the chest. Place a few blocks right here to build up to the same height. Then place a sign right here. Place a water source on top right here, so that the water should flow towards the hopper, and then finish it off by creating a little ceiling 2 blocks higher than the bubble column ends. The killing mechanism is by entity cramming. We're going to establish this by placing 24 mine carts on top of the rail right here. After you've placed 24 mine carts on top of the rail, whenever a mob lands inside of these mine carts, they will die because of entity cramming. Your farm is now pretty much functional. All you gotta do is fill in the roof right here so that it is completely dark inside and mobs will be able to spawn. Now, when we step away for a bit and we take a look inside, you'll notice that there are not a lot of witches spawning right now. This is because the mob cap is filled almost completely by mobs which are inside caves underneath the farm. This is why we need an AFK platform. To make this, place down scaffolding in the middle of the farm and build up to level Y185. At this level, you want to place down some glass blocks for you to stand on, and also create a layer of glass blocks above your head to make sure that no phantoms can spawn while you're up here. Now when we take a look downstairs, you will notice that there are no mobs in the caves because we're high up in the air, and mobs will only spawn inside of the farm. Now when we take a look inside the farm, you can see a lot more witches spawning, but you will also notice that sometimes spiders are able to trigger the system and keep the platforms flushed with water. When this happens, there won't be any spawns on the platform anymore, but these spiders will despawn naturally quite fast, so it won't interrupt your farm for a very long time. All the mobs should be transported into the minecarts, where they will die off due to the entity cramming. And all the drops should end up in the chest right here. This is pretty much how your farm works, so now all we gotta do is decorate it. For this design I chose to make an old tree stump around the farm, and for this we are using a lot of dark oak logs. Start by creating a ring around the farm. Don't make it a perfect ring, but make it slightly organic, so imperfect basically. Place down some torches inside of this ring, because we don't want mobs to spawn around the farm when we're up on the AFK platform. And then you can build up all the way to the top of the farm using these dark oak logs. Create an entrance, or a little cove as I like to call it, near the output chest, and after that place down some more dark oak logs on top of this ring and make it as chaotic as possible, because the tree stump must look as if it's been crushed. Next, use some dark oak stairs and more dark oak logs and some slabs to create a ring 1 block wider than the ring that you have already created. This gives it a bit more depth to it and makes it not just a straight line up. It breaks up the pattern a little bit. Next, move into the build, and on top of the witch farm create a ring out of dark oak slabs and make your way towards the middle by alternating spruce slabs with oak slabs. This gives it the look of a tree ring. Next up, we are going to create the tree roots and connect these to the tree stump. We're only mapping them out on the surface right now. We will build these up towards the tree stump next. Make your way all around the build. After you've mapped out your tree roots, you can build them up from the most outward point towards the tree stump, heightening the tree root one block at a time. This will look slightly different every single time, so I won't show you a step-by-step build of this. Try it for yourself, because it probably will look different from mine. Again, make your way all around the build. Next we are going to work on the entrance. Really make it look as if you're entering the tree by using some more dark oak logs, some slabs and some stairs all around. Use some stairs on top of the output chest and cover up the killing mechanism and the hopper. You can place down some extra barrels, a crafting table and of course a light source. And fill in the floor using some mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks. You now have a tree consisting out of a lot of dark oak logs, and there's not that much detail in it yet. So grab some leaves and some vines and place these randomly around the tree stump. Also place down some lanterns around to light it up and make sure that no mobs will spawn near your farm. You then want to grab an axe and strip a bunch of these dark oak logs. This will also give it a lot more detail, as you can see right here on the screen. After that, grab some mushroom stem blocks, some brown mushroom blocks and some red mushroom blocks and create some giant mushrooms on the side of the tree stump and on top. Do note that when you break one of these blocks, the texture will change, so make sure that you have more than enough. I like to create the brown mushrooms at the side of the tree stump and the red mushrooms a little bit more to the top. But feel free to do this any way you like it the most. It's your build. You can place down some extra mushrooms at the side and also create these mini mushrooms using some diorite walls with 1 or 2 of these mushroom blocks on top. Finally, if you have some spider webs available, you can place these around the build in little nooks and crannies as well, to give it a more spooky effect. Make a pathway towards your farm and enjoy, basically, because you're done. Congratulations! All you gotta do now is go up to the AFK platform, wait for a little bit and get all of the drops you'll ever need. That's it for me. I hope you liked this tutorial. Leave a like if you did Leave any comments for suggestions for future videos or questions you have, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of these kind of videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Cheers!